Sophie Walker here. This is the HowDidiDo Academy, and it's all about hitting this club further. How do you hit your tee shots far? I'm going to tell you right now. You don't fancy spending £500 on a driver to get that extra 10 yards. I'm here with 3 key scenarios and I'm going to give you those 10 yards for free. If you're new to the channel and the HowDidiDo Academy, make sure you click on the links and all the videos. We are going to help you with your game from afar, fix those faults and get you shooting better scores. The first area to look at is setup. Now, we can't all swing it like Tiger Woods, but we can set up to the ball like him. It's that static position that with enough checks you can get right. The tee is important. We want to tee this higher than you would any other club in the bag. Why? Because this is the biggest head. You actually want the ball here, above the crown, not in the middle. If it's up here, we can get underneath it and hit it up into the air and launch it. So if those of you that use castle tees, you need at least the pink one, sometimes the orange one. And the newer the driver you got, the deeper the face. So actually the higher the tee needs to be. Things have changed over the years now, so get that tee high enough. Now, I've not got a castle tee, I've just got a regular length, what's that, 2.5 inches. Put it in the ground, put the club against it. No, that is sat too much in the middle of the face. I want it higher up the face. And it's sitting about here. Also remember, the club's not really going to touch the ground at impact. The driver will hover above, so it'll be coming more there. That tee location helps you get up and under the golf ball. Now we're going to look at stance. I always start with the club behind the ball, lining up to the target. Put your feet together. You want your front foot to move about 3 inches. And then your back foot a wider step. Just wider than shoulder width, okay? Not hip, shoulder. And from this point, from the angle that you're at right now, you can see that ball position is forward. But where's forward? Okay, we want it inside the left heel. Remember, that's ball position. It's not club head position. I see that a lot, people making mistakes. You can actually get the ball too far forward, like you can get it too far back. You can use an alignment stick just to put that on the inside of that left heel, because what we're going to be doing here is as the club gets down to the ball, it's going to reach its low point of the arc and then start rising. So it's rising there on that left heel, rather than when it was in the middle, it would be at the bottom of the swing arc. Remember, these drivers, they only have kind of 10.5 degrees of loft, so we've got to create launch conditions in this setup. So I've got that ball inside the front heel. Now, if you look at my shoulders there, they're quite square, almost like what you do for an iron, because on an iron you want to hit down on the ball. Everyone keeps telling us you need to hit up on a driver. We need to create that with our shoulders. So instead of being square, we're going to lower the back shoulder, which for me is the right shoulder, and create an angle. This angle is how the club is going to move through the ball. That's the visualization. If it's this way, it can go down towards the ball. So here we are, we're creating launch conditions in this stance and powerful in the feet. So right here now, I've got my shoulder dropped, I've got my ball position forward, I've got my stance wider than an iron. I'm in a strong athletic position to create a good backswing. The second key area, the backswing. This is all about torque, creating energy that we can release in the downswing. We want it powerful, strong, and really twisted so we can unwind. Get into that strong stance. Now in the backswing, we want to turn into this right hip, which is the back leg. Really turn it away, open it up, okay? Face somebody behind you. Don't keep them closed. Now, I was from an era where they wanted you to keep quite firm hips and turn against those hips. It's not like that anymore. We need to create some real rotation in the lower half as well as that top half. So we're going to turn the right hip back and we're going to feel that my back is pointing at the target. We're going to get as much rotation as possible and we're going to load this right side. You can see here that I've actually moved off the golf ball. That thing about keeping your head still, well, it's not right on a driver, is it? We're loading onto this right side, but we're keeping it into strong position. We're not giving way. We're not falling back to the target. It's all about winding, feeling this like torque in the stomach and in that right hip here. We're in a loading position at the top and getting ready to unleash all that energy in the downswing. Key area 3, the downswing into the follow through. It's where we want the speed, the centre strike and the launch for that ball to go miles. As I said, we've stored this energy in the backswing. We're on this right side, we're loaded, and now we've got to time it nicely on the way down. Now, see a lot of people from the top, they start creating energy up here, speed up there. It's not where we want the speed, it's wasted up there. We'd have to slow down by the time we get here. You want it at the golf ball, the important bit. So I like to feel almost like a drop, just a timed drop here, not a rush towards the ball. So just give yourself a little moment of it setting. So the club just sets in the downswing. At this point, you're shifting to the left. You're shifting towards that target to pull that golf club through and fire that ball miles down that fairway. So we've got the little shift and the drop. And from this point, we want the club, its low point, to be here. And then it rises through the golf ball. We don't want the low point to be at the ball and hitting down on it. If you hit down on it, you're going to de-loft and generate too much spin. Those two things are not going to get you hitting the ball a long way. A feeling of a low point just before the golf ball, and then you're hitting up through it. Notice the way I'm hitting up through the ball is with all of me. See the stretch there? It's not just with the hands. So from here, we'll hit up. Middle of the club face is always key as well. Speed and middle of the club face. And from there, the hitting up, the stretching of the torso, that front leg stretching, the arms out straight, but they've still released with rotation. It's that where I want the ball to go. And my final point, hold your pose. Imagine there's a cameraman there, just waiting to capture the perfect follow through. Your shoulder is all the way round, your back is pointing here. You've completed your follow through as you've completed your backswing also. Make sure they're both the same. Hold that pose. Why am I saying hold the pose? It's because you'll be more balanced. If you're more balanced, you've got more chance of hitting the middle of the club face, keeping that club face stable, and with that more speed that you're generating, because let's be fair, we're going to give it a bit of a tonk, it's going to go straighter. So there you go. Let's see if we can put all that into practice right now. 3 key areas, let's do it. So that was my key 3 areas for hitting your driver further. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel so you can catch up on any of my golf tips with the How Did I Do Academy. And if this tip has worked for you and you've impressed all your mates on the golf course, why not pass it on? Share the love. Everybody should be able to hit their driver further. Thanks very much for watching. Keep tuning into our videos and I'll see you all again soon.